Okay, hey, good people. So here I am again. This is Rebecca. I'm gonna try this again because my camera's acting a little weird. But I'm gonna try this again. So let's talk about it. Surviving R. Kelly. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rebecca. Some people call me Lady Q1502 because of my author pen name. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Lady Q1502. You can also find me on YouTube as Truth Hurts. Um, or my other page or my other profile that I just started, which is Lady Q1502 as well. So let's get into this nonsense. I have all my notes here, y'all. All the good notes that I wrote down, pages of notes. Okay, let's do it. So, just to give a little backstory, everybody knows who R. Kelly is, so we're not going to go too in depth in that. R. Kelly is, everybody knows he's a singer, composer, entertainer, producer, songwriter, all of that. He dropped out of school at an early age. He wasn't really interested in school. He had a lot of child issues coming up. He was, I think he said between the ages of 6 and 7. He said that his sister was molesting him. And it seems like the brothers knew. He has a brother that I know of who's out of jail, who's been doing a lot of interviews and things like that, and has been for years. And he has another brother that's in jail. We're going to talk about that too. That, for lack of better words, that he totally supports R. Kelly. Period. Crazy, right? We'll get into that. So I get off work extremely late at night. I made it my business to stay up and watch this show. I think there's some more episodes that may come out. I saw I recorded, it was about seven, like 6 or 7 of them that came on Lifetime. Shout out to Lifetime Network, who didn't get scared by the lawsuits and all of that, who decided to air, because a lot of the things that we already knew. When I tell y'all, man, I was at my highest level of festivity when I watched this last night. The only person who can attest to that is God and Regis. I promise you. When I tell y'all, I was frustrated. I was beyond, like, I was so angry at this point. Like, I have a 3D TV. And I probably shouldn't have had it on 3D mode, because I was so mad that I wanted to punch a couple of those people through the TV. Like, I was frustrated. So let's go off my notes here. Shall we? The receipts, okay? Let's talk about R.Kelly. And I'll say this before I really get in depth into this. I don't minimize anyone's abuse. Period, point blank. No one should be sexually molested. No one should be tormented. No one should be kept as a prisoner. No one should be starved. No one should be talked to, degraded, demeaned, diminished. No one should have to feel that. I mean, and that's honestly that's my personal opinion. You have some out there who are like R. Kelly that just don't feel that. They don't share the same sentiment. I feel like this is just my opinion. Okay, so you can get mad, you can get frustrated. I'm already ready for the heat, because I already know that I'm gonna have some people that disagree. And again, that's okay. That's what the platform is for. Have a healthy conversation about why you agree, why you disagree. What are your different options and opinions? What do you think could have been done better, or how the situation could have been resolved, if it can be resolved? So let's get into it. R.Kelly. I have no doubt in my mind that R. Kelly abused her. I have no doubt in my mind that he kind of held her hostage. I have no doubt in my mind that those things really happened to her. However, okay, I do believe wholeheartedly that a lot of the things that she said she didn't know, she knew. That's just my opinion. She said that he was strategic in his way of separating everyone to where they couldn't talk, to where they didn't see each other. And how she just feared for her life. I don't, and this is where the fine line of abuse comes from, because there are men out here that abuse women, and they really break you down to build you up, to break you down, to build you up, to break you down. And the cycle continues, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that she knew everything, but what I'm saying is I don't believe that she didn't know anything. You know what I mean? And even after she left R. Kelly, after all the accusation came out about him doing this and that, when the first round of accusations came out, I think it was like in 2000 when the first round came out. And then when the second round of accusations came out in 2002, I was a senior in high school in 2002. And I remember that sex tape. And I remember that sex tape floating around. And that's all I'm going to say to that. That's 100% R. Kelly. And that was 100% that lady's niece, Sparkle's niece. Period. But even after the second round of sex tapes, the second round of child allegations and things like that came out, and sexual abuse and this and that came out, like she was gone by the second round. Per her, she was gone because she left the first time, allegedly. The first time when she saw it on the news and she had her son, Robert Jr., in the hospital, that's when she saw it on TV. And she said that in her interview with Lifetime, she said that on Surviving R. Kelly, she said that she was so distraught that she was holding her son in her arms, and that when she seen it on TV, her body went limp, and someone had to come and catch the baby before he hit the ground. That's when she left. This is where my problem with R.Kelly comes in. After you left, you knew all of this stuff that was going on, bro. You knew all of it. And you had a friend who worked as a backup singer for R. Kelly. And y'all, he's in a pod, right? So, according to his ex-manager, his former road manager, everybody knew what was up. They knew, everyone knew what he did, what was up, and people helped him to do it, right? So, my problem with her comes in is that you say that you were abused and you say that all of these things happened, which I do believe. However, you glorify it in the sense of you do interviews, shows, all this other stuff. Prior to now, saying, yeah, keep on buying his tickets, keep on buying his movies, keep on doing this, keep on doing that. Y'all keep paying his bills, honey, that's my money. But this is your abuser. This is a person who you know abuses other women. This is a person who you know was mistreating other women. But instead of coming out to say, this is what he did to me, you glorify it. And then, as of recently, decided to say, oh, me too. When the Me Too movie hit. Oh, me too. It happened to me too. Let me tell you about R. Kelly. I'm not getting rid of my name because I earned that name. You may be absolutely 1000% correct. You did earn that name. However, you are somebody who was really like mentally, emotionally, spiritually abused or broken. You don't think nobody's going to remember you for who you are? Why keep the name of your abuser? That's all I'm saying. My opinion is not favorable. It's not. It's not favorable of her. Because even after the interview aired, homegirl, you did a video, okay? You did a video talking about playing R. Kelly's music like, oh, this is my baby daddy. And you singing a song. You did a whole live with that. On top of doing the live, you got somebody next to you who's singing too. Help me understand how that supports your purpose. It's like you're two people. On one hand, you're Andrea Kelly, who was abused and starved and neglected, physically, emotionally, verbally, spiritually broken by R. Kelly. And then on another hand, and on this hand, you want to help women and you don't want women to become victim, and how God spoke to you and came to you and said, this is what you needed to do and this is how you can serve the people. But then on another hand, you want to be Ratchetville, USA. Now, before y'all get talking about Ratchet, we're not going to do all that colorism, all that. You can save that for another video. We talking about surviving R. Kelly. On another hand, you want to be Ratchetville, USA. Okay, you want to sit here and you want to act like, oh, well, just keep buying his stuff, just keep doing this because those child support checks was coming in just nice, and we doing this interview, and then you doing videos of listening to his music, dancing, and doing all of the other stuff, and this is supposed to be a man that you don't even support. Please tell me how this hand supports this purpose. You can't, because it don't. Moving on. So, um, my opinions about Andrea Kelly. Yes, I will not minimalize. I will not minimalize her abuse because I do believe she was abused, and I do believe that she needs help and she deserves it. However, you cannot glorify. Okay, you cannot glorify what you're against. You're either for it or against it. Which one is it? In my opinion, just like I've heard other people say, I have a feeling. I don't think this is the only reason why she's doing this, but a part of me does feel like you're doing this because your money low. Me Too movement came around. It was a perfect time for you to come in and tell your story. And that is my opinion on Andrea Kelly. Please stay tuned for the other videos that I'm going to be putting out because I have to break these down. Those opinions aren't favorable either. So it is what it is. I mean, I do have a lot of opinions because it is some of the women that I feel bad for. My next one is going to be Kitty Jackson. Matter of fact, I'm not going to save that for another video. I'm just going to tie this in with her. Kitty Jackson was grown as hell. Period. She was grown. Like, she was my age, now grown. Okay? And no, you cannot put a limitation on someone's brokenness. However, you were grown and you still made a decision to go. You were grown and you still made a decision to do it. You were grown and you still made a decision to be in this house, have sex with all these women and this and that. It's amazing how, this is the one thing that I noticed about this video yesterday. It's amazing how all of the people who said that they just got up and left, they just left. Even the people that was kids. Like, out of the pieces of videos that I've seen yesterday, most of the people who were recruited, it was a few young girls. And then the people that they did interviews with, they were either 17. The majority of them were 17 years old when they met R.Kelly. Still no excuse because that's just nasty. Okay? Person still in high school is just nasty. They're not old enough to make that decision with somebody who's 3 times their freaking age, 3 times their age. Teenagers don't have the mental capacity to be able to make those type of adult decisions because they don't know what type of adult consequences come behind making those decisions as a teenager. But I'm just saying, Kitty wasn't a teenager. She my age. She was my age. Matter of fact, Kitty's older than me. At that time, she was my age. Help me understand. Now, a lot of people say, well, when you don't know who you are and when you don't have self-esteem and you don't have this and that, then it's not hard to make that decision. Okay, I'll give you that. However, okay, and some people say, yeah, I don't know her upbringing and her background, and you may be absolutely correct. But all I'm gonna say is this: my parent was a drug addict. Okay, my dad died when I was 4, and I was told that he died from AIDS. Which I found out that wasn't true. And I found this out by my parent and by family members, okay? And my parent was someone who dealt with people who were on drugs as well. I had a parent who would either get in relationships with men who were extremely abusive, okay? Or she was abusive towards them, and that will cause a fight for them to be abusive towards her. So, living from place to place, not having anything stable, at times living in a shack, no hot water, no food, no gas, no nothing. My auntie Brenda came in clutch, okay? Because she always had food at her house. My aunt Brenda came in clutch. And all I'm saying is, I can't say, thank God I had people praying for me because that could have easily been me. And I'm not going to run down the story of my life and all that. That I'll save that for another day. But I'm just saying, like, I feel bad for her as far as the abuse is concerned. But a lot of the things that she did and seen, I don't have any sympathy for that. I don't have any sympathy for that. I'm sorry, y'all. My opinion is not favorable. And my opinion isn't favorable for her. My opinion is, if especially the Savages, yo, I know what I see when I look at that situation. And I'm gonna make part two. This is 15 minutes. I'm gonna make part two. I'll see y'all soon.